Hello, Virgo. Thank you so much, as always, you guys, for being here, and a very safe and happy holidays to you all. All right, Virgo. So, looking at your third week of December, you pulled peace, service, and hidden blessings. This is a beautiful message. You know, it's very rare that you see people who are able to find peace in providing for those that are in need. Some of you may be in a very peaceful place in your life right now, and you may be spreading the joy, so to speak. But hidden blessings, this is talking about the hidden blessings that we come across within the adversities that we face. So for some of you, this is a time for you to try to find some sense of inner peace through a temporary situation. And that may be by being of service to others, right? And for me, it's almost like the perfect message for Virgo. So peace. This one is talking about freedom from attachment and radical acceptance. The protection message is saying that now is a time for calmness and well-being in spite of temporary conditions. And then it talks about even if things are dissonant notes in the music of your life right now, all that means is that you must go within and fine-tune the extraordinary instrument that you are, the hermit. Right? So a need for peace, or if you are finding yourself in a sense of peace, it may be time for, you to help others find that as well. But service, the inspiration for this is, are you seeing your life as it really is? Though we may wish things to be different, often we create just what we need. It says this is an opportunity to look at where you are today, give up what you think you deserve, and start being of service. So in that case, to me, it kind of feels like a redirection of your energy. If you can provide something for somebody right now, by doing that, it's not only raising your vibration, but it's shifting your awareness away from any kind of difficult situations that you're dealing with. So hidden blessings. It says there is a gift in every adversity. Your love, intentions, prayers, good wishes, and realizations are held in the consciousness of the universe. This energy circulates around you, and you may act as a source. It may act as a source of comfort to you. And it's also talking about how, hidden blessings may be showing up in your life right now to either provide nourishment, wisdom, or teachings. But for those of you who are finding it hard to deal with a situation right now, by shifting your attention to, being of service to somebody who may need your help, there may be something that comes out of that you're going to look at as like, the hidden blessing, the blessing in disguise, right? But for those of you who are finding peace right now, it's so good. It's so good. Hang on to that. I think we all struggle with, finding those moments of peace. And a lot of that has to do with our perspective on things, because, how can you not be completely focused in difficult situations, right? We need to find a solution, but sometimes it's like we give it too much attention, and it just makes it, even more prevalent in your life. And really, there's the need to remember that whatever you're dealing with is just temporary, right? Impermanence. Oh boy. Okay, so I love you guys. I really, really love you guys. I am your cheerleader always. Always. I'm always in the background looking for the best opportunities for every sign, despite what they're going through. But man, you guys are really wanting to talk about the hard, deep shit. The Five of Cups being the overall sadness, disappointment. Only being able to focus on what has been lost, right? So we'll see how, this is affecting you, or how it may be changing, the way that your future outcome looks. Again, when we're looking at future conditions or, potential outcomes, Really, all it is a reflection of habitual thoughts and patterns. But our ability to change, though, is, what makes sure that nothing is ever set in stone, right? I don't know why I felt like I needed to say that. So the Six of Swords coming in from the past, you've had to move on from a difficult situation. For some of you, you're still dealing with the sadness and the disappointment of having to do that. But, it's... I feel like it's something that you had to do. And I say that because with the Six of Swords, I always remember about the Five of Swords coming before this. It's like moving into a calmer situation. But the thing is you wouldn't have had to have done that had you not had to face that kind of difficulty, right? Oh boy. In the present, the Two of Cups. Okay, so... there's two ways to look at this here. You may have moved on from something very painful, and there's still this focus on what you have lost. For some of you right now in the present moment, you may be connected with somebody who understands and may be there to, support you. For others of you, we're talking about difficulties in a relationship, but we'll see what's going on here. Okay, so the Eight of Swords, and looking back at the Six of Swords, it makes me wonder if, you're still in the process of moving away from something. But with the Eight of Swords, you're stuck, but you're stuck mentally and emotionally with this. And, there's still that question of how this relationship is playing into this. Is there still that connection? Now, for some of you, it may be, I can't fully have a connection with a person because there are difficult things that, you're still trying to move on from, but the situation seems to be stuck. And that may be where this kind of like sadness is coming through. For others of you, straight up, it's, I don't have the connection that I used to with someone. Your best path to follow, I've been seeing this in this position with the Nine of Pentacles. We're talking about, you having your own sense of security. So, and freedom and independence, right? And being able to enjoy your life despite temporary conditions. But for you, it's like, it's not being able to see a way out of this. And it's almost like giving up and feeling like there, just is no way to move into a calmer place. But this, to me, is like, whatever is going on around you, it's just a temporary thing. It's more about you feeling secure. But not needing to be dependent on a relationship, with the Two of Cups. For some of you, literally, this may be, an inability to further continue a connection with somebody. And there needs to be more of a focus on finding a sense of freedom and independence and security for yourself. That may free up this situation. But, regardless here, it's like being stuck mentally and emotionally. Okay. In your environment, the Seven of Wands, right? Having to stand up for yourself and defend yourself. For some of you, absolutely, this is going to be a disappointment with a connection that you may have thought that you had with somebody who is now opposing you in what you believe, what you stand for. For others of you, it's, there may be somebody who is speaking up for you or you them, again, service. But it's like despite that, though, there's just no way of moving forward, or that's how it's being perceived. Now, for those of you who are looking at disappointment with a connection that you may have thought that you had with somebody, this would be like opposing beliefs. And there may be no way to get past that. And that may be, something that you've been dealing with. Now, for others of you, you may feel like you're being let down by somebody. Possibly somebody that, you stood up for. And again, I only say that because we're looking at these two here. But there's this need to speak up and defend a position, but there's like this opposition to, beliefs and where you stand. I've seen this in the same spot too, and I can't remember who had this. The Tower is hopes and fears. That's, big, big, big. For some of you, you may be fearing the inevitable collapse of a situation if, you can't see how things are going to move forward. There is some kind of conflict that is happening in the past that we're trying to move on from here. But there just doesn't seem to be a way forward. And for you, this may have been built up so much so that, now the cracks in the foundation are starting to show. And for you, with the Five of Cups being the overall, if things do completely fall apart, it's understandable why this would be emotionally painful, right? But how do we rebuild things? For some of you, you may not be seeing how that's possible with the Eight of Swords, because there's just too much that's opposing, your own values within this relationship. But this is like the collapse of it. And for you, it's like devastating. Now, for others of you, though, you may be hoping that a shitty situation finally, is falling apart. But that really depends on, how you're seeing your involvement with another person. Coming out the Emperor, so control, right? There may be a power struggle going on with the Eight of Swords, and there's this feeling of being stuck and not seeing a way forward. But control, right? Like, who is in control of the situation? So you have, and there's way too many cards behind it, but the Magician and the Ace of Swords is popping out. So truth being the tool to kind of, create what you are trying to manifest. Okay, so the Page of Swords. The Star. Okay. So there's an attempt to at least kind of like heal the situation. Ugh. And the Five of Swords. Why are these showing up? The Page of Swords and looking at the Six of Swords, you're talking about moving on from things that you didn't exactly want to hear. The Page of Swords is not the messenger you want coming to you. This is where the difficult information comes through, or you're only getting half the story. Or it's like hearing something that you didn't want to hear from another source, like not hearing it from the horse's mouth. So however this information is being, gained, and also here with the Page of Swords on a more practical level, this is like literally, seeing something on social media and like that is the source of information that may be coming through, but it's not the full picture, right? It's only the half the story. There's half truths with the Page of Swords. There's the need to find out something else. But I think that you know enough about whatever information is there to know that it's something that we need to move away from. It's like hearing something you didn't want to hear about a partnership or a relationship or what somebody else has been doing. Now, with the Star, though, we're talking about healing and hope, right? So despite the fact that there is this difficult information coming through, right, there's still the want to heal this situation, but there's still like this kind of opposition that's going on when it comes to, you know, your values within the partnership here. And there's like an attempt to heal it, but with the Five of Swords, you know, we're talking about sabotage. And with the Emperor, then it becomes a question of how much control does that have over how you are perceiving things because of the Eight of Swords and the Five of Cups. Now, you know, this could be somebody who is like intentionally wanting to continue to provoke opposition in your relationship with somebody. But this is also like really hurtful words that are being said, right? And it may hit like a breaking point for you where, you know, there's this need to kind of like take back control over, you know, your own perspective on this situation, regardless of how disappointing it may be. Because I'm still looking back at this and thinking, being independent, self-reliant, having your own sense of security. And that may be something that you're needing to focus on rather than the pain of the situation, especially if you feel like things are going to just completely fall apart. But there's still a hidden blessing that's coming out of this, though. Intention, compassion, and then surrender. Radical acceptance of a situation is what I feel like here. So when it comes to intentions, right, when you understand your own intentions and others, the feeling of compassion immediately follows that. When you truly understand why somebody is motivated to do something, right? But making sure that you are focusing your intentions in a way where there is compassion for yourself and what you have experienced, right? So if you're facing this kind of emotional disappointment, if you continue to see things the way that they are, it's going to block you, right? So there's this need to just, it is what it is. And unfortunately, you know, I'm looking back at the Oracle cards feeling like you're going to have to find a sense of peace. But for Virgo, it may be through helping somebody who, you know, you can help or who needs your help, right? A shift in awareness and attention. Sorry, guys. But, you know, setting the right intentions and doing it from a place of compassion, but, you know, needing to accept what is, unfortunately, is what I feel like with surrender. Narrow pathway. I can't remember who else got this one. And then protected by angels. You are cherished by the angels. And tread thoughtfully. So narrow pathway. It's like there's not a whole lot of movement on the path that you're on right now. But again, there's the message of it's only temporary. It's a temporary experience. But you're protected through all of this, which is beautiful to see. So despite the fact that this is a narrow pathway, no matter what happens, this is basically assuring you that you're going to be okay. Oh, man. So, you know, for those of you who are resonating with this, because obviously this is going to be for everybody, what I want to say to you here is if you're facing difficulties in a relationship, you know, whether it's from information you didn't want to hear or some action that somebody took that may be changing your perspective on the connection, right? Like, wipe that away from your awareness, accept it as it is what it is right now. Where can I place my focus and my intentions that is going to provide a sense of security and well-being for you? You know, rather than letting the situation control what you choose to do next.